Hey guys, it's your favorite weeb. So today I decided to do a drawing. There's actually supposed to be a different drawing for the placement of this speed paint of my OC Lavi and Saito's OC, Saito, which the video got corrupted for some reason, so I decided to waste more time and decided to do more art, even though I kind of didn't want to do any art today. And besides that, I want to talk about how, a lot of, I guess for this main video, I'll talk about art and the problems I've had with it. So, to start off, requests. When an artist has requests open, people do flock to it because, hey, free art, right? So, with requests come those types of people who are like, hey, why didn't you do my request? I thought you were gonna do it. When most of the artists state they're not gonna say who they're taking which request. I do this myself. I'll refuse, and most of the time, if not, I will actually, I won't say anything, or I won't do it. So, basically, I had this one person, won't name who, say, hey, because they sent me in a note thing, hey, I thought you were gonna do my drawing because I requested from you this comic thing. And the one thing I don't do for those who request from me, I don't do comic pages, as they take forever. I have my own projects, and I've dealt with like 2 people on this matter of comics and how people want it but are like, hey, can you do this? When I've blatantly stated I'm not drawing comic pages for free, I'm not drawing them for anyone but myself, and I will never possibly open a comic request page thing for anyone unless it's a good friend or a close person within either my cast or in general that I know. Because I've dealt with this person once, and it was just their OC in a franchise, and they're like, hey, can you do it like this? And I'm like, no. I didn't blatantly state no, because I didn't think they requested, and I have like a problem with memory to begin with. So I ended up checking to see if this person actually did write a request in one of my journals. Don't hunt it down, please, because after I do this, I'm removing which one it was. And they noted me about it, and I basically, since I couldn't remember what they requested, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about, because I didn't know until I checked. So, basically, I had that problem, and that issue's gone and dealt with. Let's see. There was another one where this person was like, hey, do you need people to work on pages? Do you do collabs with comics? And I don't, because I'd rather have all the work on me. If it's my own project, I'd rather talk to myself. Because with comics, like the original creator, they may state what they want in the comic, but with me, what I do is, if it's my own original work, or if it's my own storyline that I've created, I don't like giving collabs to people to where they can help me, because I don't like people stealing from me. This has happened once. And I basically stated to the person, no, I'm not going to do collabs with comic pages for people, because I'd rather do it myself. Because I don't like sharing. So basically, that's what I had to deal with some people. They want to help with me with my comics because I have like 3 projects that I've been working on since, well, I've worked on my first comic since I think it was August of last year or 2017. It's been a while. And I'd rather work on it myself than putting the pressure on another artist's shoulders, because to me, when I finish a comic, it feels very fulfilling, because I finished Creepy Dark Woods Pasta Volume 1, and I was so happy, because I was like, it's done, it's finally done, Volume 1's done, to where I could finally focus on getting the cast together and dubbing my project. Once the Chapter 1 dub is done, I will start working on Volume 2, even though I kind of don't want to. I will. Because it needs to get done either way, and I don't like putting pressure on people to help me. So, that's basically what I have to deal with. And what's another thing I could say? Oh yeah. Going into, like, back to the request thing of requesting comic pages, don't think, this is what I want to say. Don't think you're entitled for me to accept your request, because I have a choice to say no or yes. You can't pressure me to say yes, you can't pressure me to say no. If I say no or don't answer, it's probably a no, and no means no, so I won't do it. Whereas like other requests, I feel like, okay, I'll do it. It's done. I can do it. And with like some requests, they're either too rambunctious to where they're like described for what it would be for commissions. And it's not been on my own page, but it has been on other artists' pages where people are like, can you do this, and this for my character? And I'll actually go into the comments and say, hey, listen, you're doing a commission description, not a request. You just dip your OC into the comments and leave them there. Say whatever the required things are in the journal or what's stated in the post, and leave it. Let the artist decide what they want to do with your OC or not. And you should not feel entitled to where you think, oh, they're actually gonna do my character, they're gonna get it done, they're gonna do it. Whereas like with me, although I don't get commissions, since I'm still kind of improving, I'm still trying to figure out where I want to be, what I'm trying to get at. And the thing is, I feel like it's stupid that people feel entitled to a request. They think, oh, I'm definitely gonna get picked, they're gonna say yes, they're gonna do my OC, they're gonna draw free art for me, hey, can you draw more free art for me? And honestly, you should not feel entitled, because that's the artist's decision, not yours. They're the one drawing your character, they're the one drawing your request. You have no right to say, you have to do this. The artist gets a choice, not you. Because it's them working and wasting their time on your character, not you. You just wasted time putting your OC or whatever in the comment section and blatantly being like, hey, can you draw my OC? You can do that, but you're wasting your time, because it's what it comes down to is the artist's decision to take your request or not. It's not your choice, because at the end of the day, it's them saying yes or no to your request. With my requests, when I request people to do art or whatever, I do the bare minimum. I give the details that's required, like username, personality, and other things, in order for the artist to get a general idea what to do on their piece. And at the end of the day, some people will say, oh, I'm sorry, but no. And I'm completely fine with that because it's them, they're spending their time, their free time, if they're working a job, to do my OC or anyone else's OC. And I can understand it'll take a long while if you get like a amount of requests from people. And it's very stressful for people, commenters, requesters, we'll call them trolls or whatever, pressing on the artist to do their OC. And artists don't like that. I don't like that in general. I've had my art stolen before. I've had people trace over my art. I have had rude people, not in my own comment section, but in other artists' comment section, to where I'm blatantly stating, hey, don't do that. You're not gonna get picked if you're being rude. Take from this whatever you will, because at the end of the day, it's my own opinion for how I feel for art, because it's a passion I want to drive to, what I want to become a career eventually, if I can. If not, the other things that I'm doing, writing and side work of voice acting, either one of those are going to be my main career eventually if art doesn't make it through and art can be a side hobby. With artists, they're either taking the time out of their day to do art, doing it as a stress reliever, because in honesty, it's what it is. It's a stress reliever at the end of the day. If you're feeling real stressed out, if you bombed a quiz, if your boss at work is getting up on your hide, it's a stress reliever from all the anxiety that has been pent up throughout the entire day, and anything really. At the end of the day, it helps me, it helps every artist to express themselves depending on how they're feeling in that moment. And with me, I have been actually dealing with art block recently. I'm better at writing than art, to be honest, because I don't get writer's block. I have universes in my head. Whereas art, it's more difficult to figure out what you want to draw. That's why some artists, for request, they'll be like, put their personality, put the personality of the OC, so that way I can understand what to draw. Some people derive from that. Others are like, what do you want added? What expressions? Which would kind of derive into the commission category along with like your character here, which I've never done before, because to be honest, it's a waste of time for me, because it's basically tracing over a base and drawing whatever you want on it, because I'd rather make original pieces and original work than tracing over a base and then adding characters on top of that. I know it can be derived to like editing or base work, but to me, I think originality is more important than either cheating someone out on it or copying someone. Because in the old days, this was like when I first joined YouTube, not on this channel. I have like a really, really old channel that I don't get on anymore. I used to trace art, and yes, everyone gets somewhere, and I got somewhere because I kept practicing. I used to draw terribly, and then I eventually got to where I am now, which is this work that you see before you. This piece that I'm doing is actually lineless, not the line art drawings that you see me draw on this channel, because I don't think I did a speed paint of my OC Sardress being lineless, because I did a lineless piece of her, but everything you see on this channel is basically drawn with line art, is outlined, whereas this is like my first lineless speed paint, where I actually had to watch a tutorial because I've never done the lighting effect and how to like spend actual decent like 10-hour or longer for the long haul to make a better piece of art, because I'm like, hey, I can do it however fast I want to. And I don't necessarily rush, it's just built into my mainframe, where I draw a little bit quicker And people are like, did you just draw that like 5 minutes or 10 seconds? Which I can kind of do, but it'd be kind of messy. Whereas like other stuff, for me it's easier to draw a little bit quicker, getting the base down, or the I call it watercolor layer, to where I make it the opacity lighter, to where I can draw over what things I want, then I can color it. You may think that's tracing, but it's my own work. I'm basically tracing over my own bases that I make for the original works. To where I make the own pose, I make the scene, and I sometimes do the background first before I do the entire drawing. Because the background's actually the easiest thing that can get done more quickly than normal art. Because it's very difficult to draw the characters because there's so many layers that are tied into coloring the clothes, coloring the eyes, skin, depending on how many highlights, shading, hair, feet, lips, clothes, accessories, anything that's sticking out of the background which ties into the key focus of the main couple or character. And that's usually the one thing that takes up the most amount of layers you spend the most time on. That's why I do backgrounds first. A lot of artists do backgrounds first, then eventually color the character, because with the character, with the character, more layers are put into it, whereas the background, it can be just like 4 to 5, or how many layers you want, basically, to be put in the drawing. With layers for background, you can add on to the landscape, what drives into the main focus of the piece, or what's basically there. You can see. Anyways, I'm certain that some people will either listen to what I've said through this entire thing, or they won't. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your choice if you listen to me or not, or if you're just here to see the speed paint, to see if it's good or not. But I'm glad you guys could join me and watch my speed paint videos, along with when I'm being a little dork and doing streams, which are they're gonna be a little bit kind of rare due to my mic always kicking out on me. I don't know why, but it happens when I'm doing recording with the software I use currently. Because I don't know why. But it's a real pain in the butt. And it's messed up a lot of streams. Well, one of the streams I've done, it messed up the gameplay I had recorded for Resident Evil 2 demo shot, because someone wanted me to record that because they knew I was a scaredy cat, aka Seina. And that file got corrupted. But anyway, I'm glad you joined me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!